Back. Oh, the pillow is still here. Now this color doesn't fit anymore. We got to take the color away. So we're back. We're back. We're back. And as the title says, a lot of you have been asking me on Instagram, and for those of you who don't know, my name on Instagram is Super Dacob, all spelled together. Kiadora says hi again. Hi, Kiadora. It's Super Dacob, all spelled together. And I'm also on Twitter, Super Dacob, all spelled together. Melinda says wardrobe change, LOL. Yes, this is quick change, my dear. Quick change. You know, it's like a concert. This is the second part, second set. But I still have the same pants on. Chicken says queen. Okay, yeah, well, whatever. Lisa Alvarez says hello, gorgeous. Hi, Lisa. Chicken says so fashionable. Because says whoop whoop. Kiadora says, isn't that Vivienne? This is Vivienne Kiadora. Well noted, my dear. This is my love, Vivienne Westwood. Strike a pose, Viv. It's a lot of Viviennes, actually. Where is she? It's so fun to find her because she hides. Wait, because she's there. There she is. She's somewhere in the back as well. I know she's somewhere else, but anyway. Maybe here? So, guys. Oh, there she is. Look at her. Oh, I love her so much. Chanel. Fall, spring summer 2018 pret-a-porter collection. Girl, where's the food? Actually, guys, I'm loving this lately. I'm not doing, why should I do promotion for Milk Item? But because I'm eating the shit out of these brownies. Actually, I'm gonna eat one right now with you while we're talking. They're so tiny. I'm not sponsored by these people. I literally eat a box a day, which is horrible for my diet, but I can't help it, you know? Because I'm doing this course, this editing course. And then, you know, and then like I need the sugar because you're thinking and you're working and you're processing something creative and you're editing and then video. And then your brain just needs the sugar. And I go for the brownies. I know it's not so healthy, but here's the food. You ask for food, you're gonna get it. Look, it's a tiny little brownie. And it's so soft on the inside and slightly crispy on the outside, but still very soft because you can see, and then it has, you see this little stuff? Like little tiny chunks of chocolate. Oh, to die for. But anyway, clever. Are you working for Chanel? Because you're getting me in a really good mood after eating sugar. Yeah, Jess and stuff. I really like the first outfit that walks out for the Chanel fashion show. Because that says, give me that brownie. Here you go, sweetie. Have a nibble. Have a nibble, sweetie, darling. Oh, Kiadora loves halva. The halva is really good too, but a lot of sugar in halva. Okay. Oh my God. The pleasure of having chocolate in your mouth. I can't. Okay. Should I do a giveaway, a Milka giveaway? Like, because I see somebody doesn't have it in their area. I should send somebody like a survival package for the winter. Anyway, guys, so listen. Chanel, spring, summer 2018. The creative team is not listening to their customers. I have friends that work in Chanel, and that's exactly, they keep telling me like, Dacob, I have my people. I get my information. As much as Chanel tries to hide stuff, I have too many people all over the world. And now, and I'm so freaking grateful that I have all of you guys as my friends here on the virtual insanity land of YouTube, because a lot of y'all send me messages from all across the world. How amazing is that? And you give me information about what's going down in all these boutiques. We are keeping it real. And you know what? There's nothing they can do to stop us. We're going to keep delivering the news and the truth. Preach. We're going to preach. So this is the tea. My internal sources have been telling me that a lot of people are complaining about the fact that most of the materials from Chanel clothing is artificial materials. Now, not for nothing, you know, Super D always chooses what to wear on purpose in this video. There's no Chanel on me today, as is there no Chanel favorite fragrance of the month of October, but we digress. People are complaining that most of the materials of these really expensive jackets, suits, tailored, you know, dresses, pants, sweaters, whatever, have synthetic fibers in them. In some case, completely synthetic. In other cases, there would be a percentage of acrylic, of some sort of polyamidic something, polyurethane, something within the textile, within the fabrics. And that's not something Coco really went for back in the day, particularly the last spring summer 17 collection with all the Velcro strip straps. So what does Lagerfeld do? Well, the people are complaining about all the plastics used in the collections. Let's make a spring summer collection 90% plastic. Lagerfeld's a genius, isn't he? But despite the fact that we're working with a lot of transparent plastic materials in this collection, I have to say, I think it is a very Asian-centric. There's a lot of silhouettes that I see, you know, I see a lot of Asian chicks mostly walking around. They love transparency. They love their bags that are totally transparent. They love plastic. They love transparent plastic hats, plastic boots. Emilio says Lagerfeld is recycling the same stuff over and over. It's really boring. Well, you know, he's the age he is. He can't just be. He's done it all. You know, it's hard for him to kind of keep reinventing himself. I get it. That's my problem is not the fact that he's repeating certain things. It's fine. He chose a language for Chanel. He chose some codes for Chanel, like, you know, the pearls, the chain, the camellia, the intertwined double C. This is a language. It's an aesthetical language that reinforces the DNA of the brand. Lagerfeld was very intelligent because 1983, when he took over the brand, he took those elements and photocopied them to infinity and beyond to create a pattern to brainwash us also, but also because it really tells us, and it repeats from collection to collection, from season to season, this is the brand's DNA. This is how you recognize the brand. This is what the brand is all about. I will reinvent these symbols over and over again, season to season to season. And I can respect that because, I mean, it takes a lot of talent in a way, and not to design, because to me, Lagerfeld is more than a designer. He's a stylist. It takes a lot of energy and strength to style anew over and over and over again, the same elements. So I'm fine with that. But I think this collection is going to work very well for Asia. Now I know this video is called review, so I don't know if we should actually review the collection together. I mean, I have my computer here. I could just like open the Chanel website or something. If you want, we could do that live now. But it's like over 80 looks. So I don't know if you're like, the video is going to take an hour if we do that. You know what I mean? Lately, spring summer collections are pastel, tweed, and autumn winter collections are gray and black tweed, Paula says. Paul also says they want to please their most important market, Asia. Yes, I agree with you because it's a very, very, very Asian-based design and silhouette that they're offering us in this collection. Don't you agree, guys? But then again, I see these models walking down that kind of misty waterfalls, whatever runway, and there's already problems. Like, you know, their boots, their plastic transparent boots are already humidifying from the skin inside. That don't look pretty. It does look pretty when you're like barefoot and your foot is stuck to the plastic of the boot and you have all that water, you know, kind of evaporating from your skin, attaching itself to a boot that doesn't breathe because it's plastic. But I get the Asian centricity of it. That's fine. I'm fine with that, you know. Amelia's like, oh Lord. Melina says, yeah, it's not practical. No, it's not. And then you start thinking, yeah, but I really love Chanel, so I'm a victim to the style, so I'm going to buy this freaking boot. But I don't want to have that wet, stainy, kind of steamy, you know, out of the bathroom look about it. So what am I going to do? Then you start thinking, maybe I should combine it with socks. We've seen that so many times already. We've seen Demna do it, copy it over and over. Oh my God, copy. Ooh. I'm going to have to make a video about Gucci and Alessandro Michele. It's going to be a juicy one. And I'm going to get so much hate from all the lovers of Gucci. But listen, if speaking the truth attracts the haters and the trolls, it's attracting them for a reason. It's attracting them within a black hole that will annihilate all of them, make them disappear, and they shall be gone for good. So you see, you can always see a glass half full or half empty. I tend to see it half full, actually completely full while I drink my Coke. Again, hashtag not sponsored. Remember last time when I did my pumpkin carving video, I had a Coca-Cola in an actual glass and I spilled it. I'm clever. This time, this one is sealed. So I'm going to open it, drink, and then close it again because I kind of tend to hit stuff with my feet. Oh, nothing like a bubbly little soda. It's super cold. Anyway, guys, Paula, the only show this season that was really beautiful was the Saint Laurent show. It says Coke and brownies. Sugar, well, it's Coke Zero. Kidora says instead of tea. Yeah, instead of tea. Gabrielle and I says, I can't help but respect Carl and his language, but I love the hot tea too. Come on. Who doesn't want a plastic Chanel bag to put your Chanel bag into when it rains? Carl. Okay, so my thing is falling apart. That's because I created this little stand, which obviously it's tragic. Why is it tragic? Because it's all improvised, you know? I love improvisation because when you improvise stuff, something just fell down, you get more truth out. Preach. So anyway, why am I wearing Vivienne Westwood while talking about Chanel? Well, because I love Vivienne Westwood and because this is a viscose material. It's a recycled kind of the residue of silk. So if you use silk and then you always get a sort of residue, but she wanted to work with that so you don't throw that away. So that's what this shirt is made of. And I love it. And then she took these patterns from, well, patterns, they're not patterns. She created the pattern, but these are puppets that Paul Klee, an artist, back in the 30s or 40s made for his children. Hand puppets. Some are scary, some are not, but they kind of stimulate the imagination. So with Jürgen Teller, I think Jürgen Teller photographed her for these photos. She kind of added herself playfully within these puppets, and I think it's adorable. And I think this is when a designer doesn't take themselves too seriously. And I think it's something that kind of allows you to laugh with them. Cadell says Paul Klee, great. Yeah, these are all Paul. Guys, do me a favor. Google Paul, Paulklee. And then Google like hand puppets or toys for his children. There's a beautiful set of toys that he made for his kids. And it's just so amazing to imagine these little kids playing with these little creatures that he made. And so, of course, they're in color, but the photo, this shirt is made in black and white. And in particular, I also already mentioned this in another video of mine. Oh, here's another Vivienne hiding. I love that this looks like an eyeball, like a cyborg eyeball. Oh, this is so adorable. I just love this shirt so much. Tim Burton, anybody? Nightmare Before Christmas? I mentioned this in another video, but you know what I mean? A lot of artists of today got their inspiration from Paul Klee. Cadell says, I have so many Paul Klee books in my living room from my mom back when she studied art history. Gotta read up on the puppet thing. Oh yes, just Google it. It's a beautiful little picture in a museum. You see how like these little puppets that survived, you know, the test of time, how they're like all placed so lovingly together, this little tiny group. They look like a little family, and then they're all photographed in this like tiny cozy little group. So cute. Emilia says, I love how Vivienne says that we shouldn't buy her perfumes because they're not good, huh? Oh, you'd be surprised though. She wears her own perfume. She wears boudoir. How do I know? You'll find out soon enough. I can't say more. Listen, but okay, so back to Chanel. So I'm wearing this because Emilia says boudoir is amazing. Yes, And just like Coco Chanel, guys, mark my words on this. I know Vivienne doesn't have all of this like fame like another brand like Chanel has, but she should. And let's not forget that this lady is alive and working. And now is the time to get those pieces because you know she designed them. You know that her influence went into them. Even if her design team maybe created more some part of the design rather than others, she's involved in everything, in particular the knitwear. Uh, and mind you, what I wanted to say before is Coco Chanel was the best model for her own clothes. Nobody wore Chanel like Coco Chanel. The same is valid for Vivienne Westwood. Nobody wears Vivienne Westwood like Vivienne Westwood. Nobody. And it's beautiful to see. She wore this shirt actually after the show. I mean, in a different size, obviously, but you know, everyone has a slightly different pattern. Each shirt has a different pattern, so you're gonna see the prints slightly different. And there's a lot of more faces of her. So I just I not managed. I happen to have these on this particular pattern version. Um, and it's incredible to be alive while she's alive, you know, and to see this person being so humble in so many ways because she also says, you know, don't buy my stuff, like buy what you really love. She says, buy less, choose well, make it last. And that is unfortunately not the motto. Again, one of the reasons why I'm wearing this while I'm reviewing Chanel. This is not one of the mottos of Chanel anymore. Chanel's motto back in the day was, you buy one of my bags, you have it for a lifetime. Now, you know, we have to pick out what bag has the quality, which bag is going to last. Some bags have bad stitching, some stitchings are off or even cut through. The clothes are being more and more acrylicized. Acrylicized, I don't even know if that's a word. There's more and more plastic use. Now listen, I'm all for plastic in particular ways. But Emilio says, now you have it for one season. Mostly, I mean, unless you don't really take very, very good care of your bags and then the stuff that you buy in general. Otherwise, it's very, very, very difficult to preserve these pieces. And, you know, Vivienne does like, I mean, she has sub labels. She has the man label, she has red label, and then her husband, Andreas Kronthaler, has does the gold label. But we're talking fall, winter, and spring, summer collection. You know, Chanel does 9 to 10, I don't know, 13 collections a year, and they just pop out all of these pieces, and they just want you to keep buying more. If we were settled and happy and satisfied with the piece that we got, we wouldn't need to run back to them the next season to buy more. Hence, we fall into this vicious circle of wanting to purchase more and more and more and more and more. But what we should be doing instead is focusing on what we really want, disconnecting from marketing brainwashing us into believing that we need everything. We don't need anything. We need food and we need air and we need to sleep to regenerate. That's all we need. Clothes, you know, get what you really love. And you know, guys, I wear stuff independently from the season. If I love something, I'm gonna love it until it falls apart or until I fall apart. That's the way I am. And I'm never gonna bow down to a society that's gonna judge me and be like, yeah, you're wearing something from last season. I'm like, the only, and I say this before, the only thing that's last season is your brain. Wake up. Don't let that influence you. Don't become a slave to it. Only get what really is kind of an addendum to your own passions, to your own love, to your own soul. And that has nothing to do with the fashion of the moment. Don't fall victim to that. You know, don't fall victim to that. I was asked, what's my scent of the day? Au Noir, over here. This one. That's my scent of the day. So this Chanel collection, again, has so many different pieces flowing through it. Some silhouettes are beautiful, don't get me wrong. I love Lagerfeld's interpretation of the Chanel silhouette. It works. Yes, it works. I'm not here to like step on it, you know. Emilia says, trends come and go. That's why I never follow them. Good for you. There are some beautiful silhouettes. There are some beautiful details in this collection, but there's nothing that makes me go, that makes me fall in love with it. You know, it's a very cool collection in the way that it's distant, it's detached from everything. It feels almost unapproachable in how cool it is. Did I just go interlaced? Oh my God, look. I don't know if you can see, but if I move my hands really quickly, I see stripes. Yeah, I'm just discovering how this camera works when I'm live streaming, so bear with me. I'm gonna do a lot of experiments. Actually, here, let's add a filter. Okay, this one is called Dawn. This is the dawn filter, the dawn of a new era. Not because, again, I'm not sensing any new vibes from Chanel in this collection. There's a lot of cool tones. There's a lot of blacks and grays and silvery hues and these transparent plastics. You know what I mean? So in a way, after 80 plus looks and these kind of soft cocoonish type of bags, I don't even see. Here they are. I was missing all the comments. Paula says she saw no cohesion in this collection. Kidora says, you know what is really awesome? My colleague in the perfumery gave me 4 samples of Gabrielle Chanel fragrance. I don't like the smell, but I love them. They're so cute, just adorable. Oh, you got the ones in the shape of the actual bottle. Oh, yeah, that is really cute. Elisa says, I love that phrase. The only thing that's last season is your brain. Yeah, because honestly, don't fall victim to it. You're better than that, you know? Buying less and choosing well and making it last is really something very, very vital and important. The only way to really preserve our environment, to preserve the future also of economy and, you know, and also of fashion is to buy less. You know, sometimes parents say, you know, to the kids, I'm punishing you because you've been a bad kid, but I'm doing it for your own good. It's about education. We should see fashion as this naughty kid. We have to punish it, to educate it. We have to stop buying it. We have to stop purchasing it, to teach it an education. To teach it an education, to teach it to produce less. If we buy less, they have to produce less. If they produce less, they have more time to think collections through. They use less resources, less materials, hence they can maybe go back to more natural materials that are also recyclable, that are also healthier for you to wear and also for the environment in case you don't want to wear them anymore one day. We have to stop over-consuming in order for the industry to calm down, to stop overproducing. The more we consume, the more they produce. It's a vicious circle and it's dangerous and deadly long term. I know capitalism lives thanks to consumption, and they want to make you believe you got to spend all your money and consume, but you don't need to do that. And the only way to save fashion, it's a paradox, you might say, the only way to save fashion is to stop over-consuming it, to stop over-purchasing it. I stopped purchasing new for the year 2017. It's been an incredible journey. The year is almost over. I've been purchasing secondhand. I've been purchasing dead stock. You know, I think somebody else's trash is my treasure. Somebody doesn't wish to wear something anymore, they sell it. I buy it off of them because then it's not trash anymore. It's not garbage. And if I love the piece, I love the piece. Secondhand and vintage is amazing. Still, I limit myself. I purchase way less. I mean, you could see the difference in my videos of 2016, the amount of hauls, reveals, you know, the consumption, the purchasing was much higher. Now it's lower, much, much lower because everything is thought through better. I really think about what I love, and what I love, I got to hunt it down because what I really love is not just available in a store. You know, I do my research about vintage pieces, and if I love a particular vintage piece that I saw in some video, book, or catalog, it's not just available. You got to spend months and months, sometimes years, hunting it down on the secondhand market. So you develop an incredible extra appreciation for certain things, for how they're done, for the heritage of certain pieces. And it's just so beautiful because once you really manage to get one of those pieces, you respect it that much more. Now, I'm not holy. I'm far from that. Of course, I will be again purchasing new. You know, I have my weaknesses as well. If something new comes out that I love so much, of course I wish to have it. But I am not doing it now, and I will be doing it much less in the years to come. Because I've seen that the positive that comes from it is way bigger at the end of the day than the positive that comes out of always buying new, you know. I'm so sick and tired of watching all of these reviews, reveals on YouTube. It's always the same thing. Like, how much can you say about a monogram canvas Louis Vuitton Poche Toilette? I know I have it. That's why I'm saying that. I'm saying this because I want to make it very clear. It's not like I'm casting stones and I'm trying to say I'm holier than thou. I am not. I have those little pouches too. But like, they're beautiful and I love them. They're great objects. But like, what I want to say is they're limited. You know, it is what it is. How much more can you say? You know, you're gonna have the 1,000th person making an unboxing of their toiletry pouch. Yeah, we get it. It's a great little piece, but like, how can we add something new to it? I think something new is by saying, don't purchase it. Let the producers, the production chain breathe a little. Give them time to sort themselves out so that they can ultimately also deliver with a smaller production chain, better quality control, better material choices. And unfortunately, this particular Chanel collection from Spring Summer 2018 gives me very powerful vibes of quick production. We're using plastics that look chic, that look almost a little bit like space age, early 60s vibes when plastics were the rage because they were so new back then. But I'm like, this retro vibe, at the end of the day, it smells of quick production. You're producing plastic because you want to be quick. And this brings me to one of my huge passions. You know, guys, who follows me knows I love my sunglasses. To me, sunglasses are the depiction, the representation of our ritualistic masks. I always make this example. I know for those of you who follow me, you're going to be bored by this because I've repeated myself to infinity and beyond, but I'm going to say it again for who doesn't know. Anna's like, preach. I'm gonna, because I'm on a roll. So this tangent is going to go on for a little longer and then we're done. I promise. We have, as first world countries, this mentality of being colonialists. We think we, deserve everything. Everything belongs to us. We just think you could just go to another country, invade it. Great Britain has been doing it. France has been doing it. Italy has been doing it in Africa a lot. Great Britain, not just Africa, but even beyond. You just colonialize everything and you just take everything. You scorch it, you rip it off of its symbology, of its meaning, of its importance, of its heritage, and you just the appropriation of it and you make it yours. Example, really simple example. You go to Africa, you just rip the people off of their cultural and ritual masks, those beautiful masks that bear hundreds and thousands of years of heritage and tradition and meaning. And you don't care about the meaning. You just like, what a pretty piece of carved wood with elephant tusk details added to it. I'm going to take that back to Europe. I'm going to take that back to America. I'm going to take that back to Great Britain that now, they're not in Europe anymore, whatever. And I'm going to hang it in my living room on my wall next to a vase that I brought back from China. Two things have nothing to do with one another. You don't even know what that mask, that ritualistic tribal mask means, but you like the way it looks. So you rip it off of its real meaning and symbology and you just hang it on a wall in your living room because it's nice to show off to your guests how exotic your living room is. This is also one of the reasons why I decide for scorched cement bunker walls. I want to make it very clear that when I discuss fashion, when I discuss these reviews, when I discuss these topics, I want the background to be clear. Cement, something very our worldly, very industrial and rough. Because I want this to be a blank canvas. You use that to project what you desire, what you dream of. That's what this means to me. That's what the fashion bunker means to me. Anyway, what are now I'm getting to the point of the sunglasses. To me, first world countries have a very superficial relationship to a lot of symbology of the past. We have lost connection to our heritage. That's why I also always mention this fire and the tribe sitting, you know, in a circle around a fire, and then the people with most experience transmit to the younger generations the love of the past and the heritage of the tribe and the clan. Sunglasses are the only kind of residue that we have of some sort of status symbol and symbology of the past. You know, they represent our tribal masks. Sunglasses tell you how much money a person has because they carry the logo on them. They tell you what epoch they're coming from. If you buy sunglasses from the 50s, they have a very rockabilly and rock kind of aspect to them. Every decade has a very specific shape and materials used. So we, from the first world countries, can know how to decipher what the meanings are behind. That's why one of my favorite sunglasses ever made are the Chanel Spring Summer 2009. Ezra says, hey, Dacob. Hi, Ezra. Sideburn sunglasses. They're really rock and roll. They're black shades that have acetate black shades that have acetate sideburns built into them. Literally, you're wearing sideburns. And of course, we see it. It's an abstraction of a rock and roll sideburn, but you understand what that bit of plastic is supposed to mean. Now, you take those shades and you bring them into a country that has never had anything to do with rock and roll and consumption of shades and sunglasses, meaning I'm unapproachable, I'm important, and this and that. And they're not going to understand the meaning. Just like we will not understand the meaning of their masks. Sunglasses are our masks. That's why I love sunglasses so much. And I love when brands really play with those meanings. Whether they're consciously or subconsciously playing with those meanings doesn't matter. But I'm getting now to the point that the Chanel runway exclusives or the boutique exclusive sunglasses, since a couple of seasons, are quite tragic. And they're playing with overproduction again. They used to have the most incredible boutique exclusive sunglasses. Their runway pieces were incredible. They were pieces of art. You could see that a design team really worked hard to experiment. But now, since a couple of seasons, all we get are frameless, because it's easier and cheaper to produce frameless sunglasses, mostly frameless. In some cases, they look amazing, but mostly not, because they're laser cut in 5 seconds, done. And now they went a step further in fall winter 17. Stupid, really stupid stuff. Frames that have magnets, so the lenses are with magnets attached to the frames. And they're like, wow, this is like so experimental. No, it's not. It's annoying. You could lose you could lose the lenses at any moment because there's a magnet keeping them there. And it's so futile, useless, needless, pointless, but they make them cost a lot because of those magnets. And it's easier to do that than to insert the lenses within the frames. And what are they, so what are they doing for spring summer 18? The same concept again, laser cut lenses. There's no frames on the glasses because it's cheaper to produce. And it saddens me, you know. But at the same time, I'm happy, my wallet happy. I ain't spending the money on this stuff. So anyway, Ezra says, what do you think about the Hard Dior men's sunglasses of 2018? I have to check them out. Melissa says, that doesn't make sense, the magnetic sunglasses. Yeah, but you know, because fall winter 17 was all about like traveling into space, you know, this Chanel little space shuttle. But again, the space shuttle was designed as an homage to space age travel concepts from the 60s. So again, we have this retro vibe already for fall winter 17. And the little astronaut is also looks very retro, the astronaut prints on the clothes. So these sunglasses are supposed to like look like they're space, and the magnets are keeping the lenses there, I guess, to contrast the concept of when you're in outer space, there's no gravitation. So, you know, it's all made to contrast that. So, but to me, it's all a shady concept at the end of the day, and it makes things cost much more, even though at the end of the day, it didn't cost you much more to produce them. But you're selling it as a new concept, even though it's not. This magnet stuff has been done before. And it's just, you know, it's annoying because I don't see innovation there. I don't see some beauty there. You know, I just see a quick buck, and it really frustrates me. And kind of this permeates the entire vibe of spring summer 18 within Chanel. Again, I repeat, and I'm going to end it here. The silhouettes are beautiful in many cases, but I'm not liking the bags I'm seeing. I don't like the nylon used to make the bags. I don't like the plastic used for the boots and the hats and plastic inserted in parts of the garments. I'm not liking it. Or Chanel, if you want to do it that way, well, then make the clothes cost half the price. Again, I would be against it, against the collection itself, but we could reconsider some things. I would at least stop thinking that you're really working hard on ripping us off. Because as of now, I'm seeing degradation, degrading quality, but upping in prices. Makes no sense to me. I mean, it makes sense to me from a perspective of a big brand thinking of wanting to increase their profits in a capitalistic society where you got to grow your 30% every year. Otherwise, you're considered a failure. I'm like, well, the bubble's got to burst sooner or later. You can't keep growing and growing and growing all the time. Anyway, enough rant. Kiedora says about the magnetic sunglasses, I think it's an interesting idea, but extremely impractical. Ezra says, but how much say does Chanel eventually have in the designs Luxottica makes? Ezra, everything. Chanel has their own design team. Luxottica has no say. Luxottica is like this. Thank you, Chanel. Thank you, Chanel, that we are allowed to make your stuff. Because they're so famous. So Luxottica is very cautious to not make any mistakes. Oh, yes. Ezra's like, really? What? Oh, yes. Oh, I'm very Wendy Williams now. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Because it's a privilege for them to produce sunglasses for Chanel since 1999. Since the beginning, since the moment Chanel went into retail in terms of selling not the boutique exclusive pieces, but up to 1999, Chanel only sold their eyewear within Chanel boutiques. From 1999, Luxottica took over the distribution and production, and also distribution for authorized retailers of Chanel sunglasses and ophthalmic wear, which are optical reading glasses. So Luxottica prides itself that they, that they can produce Chanel sunglasses and stuff like that. So, but it's what did Mia say? Drops candy in a cup on tea. Yeah, I didn't get Amelia. I'm super slow with these. I drops candy on a cup of tea. Throwing shade. Oh, I'm so bad at this. Oh no, not an abbreviation. Now that you're getting, oh no, I'm going until you abbreviate and I'm lost. Wendy always does that. Okay, Mila, that's true. Wendy does that. She eats her little candy and then she like drops it. But we ate our brownie and we have our Christian Dior, the cover of Noir. There. Do that, Wendy. And if you don't know what it means, look it up. Anyway, okay. Very reductive. We're being very reductive. I know, Madge. We're being very reductive. I gotta take a sip. Now you got me there, Emilio. I don't know what I was talking about. Oh, refrigerated cold Coca-Cola. The Mitchell says, I don't expect the greed of these luxury brands get better anytime soon. No, but guess what? And this is my point. They're not going to get better anytime soon as long as we keep buying them. You stop buying, they got to go down with the price. They got to go down with the production numbers. And then they're going to start paying more attention to the quality. As long as we keep giving them our hard-earned dinero, they're going to think they can play this game with us. We have the power. It's as easy as that. We, believe it or not, have the power to make this stop. And it's an easy revolution. You don't need to march down the streets. You don't need to, create these havoc. No, all you got to do is close your wallet and not give them any more money. And you're going to notice within a week's time, if they get no income, nothing, nobody buying nothing for at least 7 days in the entire world from none of their boutiques. Oh, you're going to see how scared they're going to get and how they're going to change their policy immediately. Money talks in a capitalistic world. Jake Blake says silent revolution. Exactly. They won't know what hit them. How can they? You won't be in the store to hit them. You're going to stay home and enjoy a wonderful day drawing, being creative, dedicating your time to yourself, to your soul, to nurturing your culture, studying, learning something, going to an art gallery, looking at some beautiful painting, sculpture, reading a book, spending time with yourself rather than rushing after the latest trend. Elisa says, exactly, we have the power. Yes, Elisa, we have the power. It's so simple. You know, it's like the elephant in the room. It's there, nobody sees it. In this case, it's a positive elephant. That's our power. It's there. It's here already. You just got to take it in your hand. Don't be weak. You got to be strong and say, I'm not going to let this influence me. I'm not going to let this fashion show. And I'm not going to let their little sick mind games influence me by inviting who they think is the biggest VIP, famous person, actor, actress, singer, songwriter, whatever, to sit in the front row, to get all the clothes for free. And they're going to be there like interested looking at the show, giving an interview after the show saying how amazing the collection was. And hence, I'm going to think, I really need this stuff. Those are mind games that they play. They trick you. They want to trick you into thinking that you need that because somebody that you saw acting in a movie or singing a song you like wears their stuff. We're more clever than that. We don't fall for that anymore. We're grown-ups. Emilia says, but unfortunately, that's not going to happen. Rich people buy their stuff uncontrollably. You'd be surprised. Most people buy their stuff on time. One of the reasons why America has big economical issues is because everybody has 50 credit cards and everybody's in debt. 50,000, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And they keep buying stuff they can't really afford. And the rich, yes, they buy a lot, but there's not so many rich people in this world to keep luxury brands going. No, luxury brands live off of even lower class, middle class. They have their perfumery sales. And I'm talking also perfumes. Oh, yes. I'm talking stop buying perfumes too. I'm buying only secondhand perfumes this year and I'm having a blast doing it because honestly, these companies don't get a cent from me because I buy it secondhand. But in general, they mostly live off of the people that can afford, something here and there from the brand. They don't survive thanks to those rich people that buy a full total look of Chanel outfits because there's not enough of those people out there. So bear that in mind. The Mitcha says, I see the main problem is these fashion writers buying into anything these luxury brands present to them because of their name. Fashion writers? You mean like bloggers, vloggers, fashion bloggers? Well, they get the stuff for free. So they get pampered by the brands. They get a little object for free and then they react accordingly. Then they have to say, I love everything. I have big issues. People, not really liking me from the fashion world because I speak my mind. Nobody dares from all of these fashion gurus tell you what they really think. They're always going to lie. They're always going to lie to you, because they're going to be like, oh, I love what you're wearing. I love what you're doing. Even if they're not going to, because they're always afraid. They do not want to shut the door with their butts, meaning they always want to keep the door open in case you can come in handy to them for their purposes, for their needs, what they're going to need in the future. This is, Emilia says, oh, thank God you're not like those fashion bloggers. Thank you, Emilia, so much. I'm really not. But this is led, listen, and I love Jeremy Scott, but I'm not a big fan of the Moschino quality lately, and you know that, and I've mentioned that in one of my reviews. I know they watch me. Oh, I know they do. You want to keep this really real? Pablo, who's Jeremy's publicist or whatever, you can always see him. He's the guy with the beard, always with Jeremy Scott. He followed me on Instagram since, I loved the first collection Jeremy did, Fall Winter 14. But then, I started also criticizing stuff I didn't like. Well, guess what? All of a sudden, he unfollowed me a couple of weeks ago from Instagram. I'm like, Pablo, be my guest. Unfollow me. It's fine. I've given Jeremy so much attention, so much love. And if I dare say two things that are not right with quality of certain products, after so many years of sharing the love and not getting one present from none of y'all's, I had to purchase my own stuff. And now I get unfollowed. That speaks volumes. That speaks volumes. But I keep it real. And I know my channel doesn't grow so quickly because I don't conform. And I will not conform, and I will never conform. But I have the power of the people on my side. Yes, we are a small community for now, but we will grow. People will wake up. People will see what it is that is really important. And if we stand together, united as people, we win. I might never get another job in fashion because I speak my mind. People are afraid to have somebody like me in their circles because they're afraid of being outed for the mistakes or for the greed or for stuff that's, being done under the surface, behind the curtains. That's not how I roll. I love people. I love communication. I can be a bitch. Anybody can. But there's a moment to be grumpy. There's a moment to be moody, to be happy. It's all about doing it for all the right or all the wrong reasons. If I see somebody acting up, oh, this really got me. And I'm going to end it in my 46 minutes. This story just happened a couple of days ago. I met this girl and we were talking about Vivienne Westwood, and she's a huge fan, and she wrote an essay about her, and there's like something, she had some questions about her, and then we started talking, and there's something that she didn't understand, and I was it was a long story. I explained to her a lot of things, and she understood, and it was really, really wonderful talk. And she was wearing this oversized coat, and she's from Russia, and she said, people don't really understand. Like she said, if I go to, she's very young, around 24 years old. If I go back to Russia and I'm wearing this coat, and some Russian dude, whatever's gonna see me, is gonna be like, oh, what are you wearing, your dad's coat? And she's like, and I would feel embarrassed, and I would not wear this because it's oversized, but I really love it so much, and it doesn't fit their understanding of what you're supposed to wear to conform. And so she's like, and I would just get shy, and I would just shrug my shoulders and walk away. And I was like, don't do that. She's like, what am I supposed to do? I'm like, fight them with their own weapon. Show them the mirror. Because they make fun of me, like, are you poor that you have to wear your dad's coat? I've had that. I had people tell me that in the past. You know what I answer? I tell them, yes, I'm poor. And I love my father so much that I'm going to wear this coat till the day I die because it makes me remember him and it makes me think of him. You have a problem with that? Is that degrading to you? That means you know no love. You know no respect. There's a very powerful layering in this particular counterattack. Because when you say something like that back to these people that are literally trying to make you accept their superficial judgment, you're hitting them back with something so deep, so profound as love between a child and their parent, and a bond between a child and their parent, and the pride that we show by showing respect and love towards our parents and saying, I'm proud of telling you that I do not have a lot of money. Because it's not a shame. It's not embarrassing. This is who I am, and I love who I am, and I make the best out of what I am given. And I build on top of that. And how do I build on top of that? Not by faking to you who I really am, but by adding love. That's why I say never give up on love. You're adding these layers and textures of love. And if you counterattack to their superficial, oh, you poor, you can't afford a real coat, so you wear your dad's coat. It's like, I am poor. I cannot afford a real coat like you can. But I love what I have. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, but do wish to, please consider subscribing to my channel here on YouTube. I'm also on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Thumb up this video. Show me the love, guys. Kiedora says, you know what? I wear an old t-shirt with the vegetables print on top of it. which my mom actually used as a nightgown, and I love it. That's so beautiful, Kiadora. Yes, that's exactly the thing to do. Kado says, was lovely as always. Melinda says, yay, Dacob. Thank you so much, guys. You know, I love you so much. And thank you for like really bearing with me, because sometimes I know I go on a tangent and like I begin at point A and then we arrive at Z. We go through the entire alphabet and it takes time for me to kind of deliver what I want to say. But I always have a structure, like bear with me. And I know a lot of people tune out after 1 minute and they think I'm a freak and they just, but I'm like, don't have the attention span of a fruit fly. You need time to understand certain concepts that are a little bit more deeper rooted than just the blatant, oh my God, I love what you're wearing today. Some things are a little bit deeper than that. So give them a chance. That's why I say thank you guys for giving me a chance, because for those of you who have stuck with me for 50 minutes, like, you are real troopers. I love you so much for that. Thank you. Anna says, love to hear you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Kiadora says, it's a quick judgment. I hate that. Yes. Maybe it's like attention span of a fruit fly. Yes. The Mitcha says, your tangents are the best. I can be here all day. Thank you so much, guys. P. O'Connell, how you doing, sweetie? Says, it comes full circle. Melinda says, we love listening to you. Ezra sending me flowers. Thank you so much, guys. Really, really. I love you so much. And I'm really on a roll. And, you know, tomorrow's Sunday. I could sleep. It's my only day off. And, of course, I'm going to make more videos for you. And actually, oh, my God, I've never done this before. I'm really, like, marathon tonight. And I know I've done it for my fashion people, for my style people. Oh, Jana is there. But I'm going to make a Twin Peaks video as well after this. And I know for those of you who don't follow Twin Peaks, you can tune out now. But for those of you who do love Twin Peaks, stay tuned. We're going to do a really fun one. Jana says, when people click away after 5 minutes, maybe you don't want them on your channel in the first place. Yes, Jana, you're right about that. But because I always wish to give everybody a second chance, I don't want to be so quick to judge. True, if you really go for it with some stupid comments and bashing and trolling, yeah, I don't want you on my channel. But sometimes people just don't know any better. And sometimes they need a little bit of time and they need a little bit of your love to understand that they can also open up back to you. And I love that moment. And it does happen sometimes when a person that's maybe a troll in the beginning, and then you just approach them with a little bit of love and they just melt, and all of a sudden they're not bad anymore. And they just turn around and they become good, and they listen, and then they even thank you, you know? And that's why I always wish to give people a second chance, because I don't believe we're born evil. I really don't believe it. I believe it's the circumstances around us that push us into these weird concoctions of machines and pressures that make us then react viscerally towards certain things. And that's why maybe somebody tunes out because they don't know any better. And I'm not going to judge them for that. All right, guys. So thank you so much. I shall see you very soon in the Black Lodge. I love you so much, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.